America is filled with cities that never sleep. But scattered across this nation are places where the lights went out and never came back on. Entire communities erased. Thousands of lives torn out of their roots. Where laughter once reverberated through streets, there is now complete silence. Some were drowned beneath rising waters. Some burned from beneath the earth. Others faded away so utterly that even maps forgot they ever existed. Today, we are traveling into the forgotten past. In the lost American cities that disappeared and were never seen again. Places where time stopped. But the stories didn't. We will be talking about some lost cities that vanished without a trace from American history. Centralia, Pennsylvania. Our first stop takes us into the heart of Pennsylvania. To a place where the ground itself is alive. Centralia. A peaceful mining town, at least until one mistake made the earth a furnace. In 1962, a fire was accidentally started inside an abandoned coal mine. People didn't think much of it at first. But the fire didn't die. It spread. Deeper, hotter, unstoppable. Temperatures beneath the town reached 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Smoke seeped through streets. Carbon monoxide filled basements. Residents started collapsing due to toxic gas. One morning in 1981, a 12-year-old boy fell into a sudden sinkhole that opened beneath his feet. A hole leading to the burning mine below. He survived, but Centralia didn't. The government evacuated just about everyone. Homes were demolished. Roads buckled from the heat. And today, only a handful of residents remain. The last guardians of a town still burning beneath their feet. 60 years later. The fire is still alive. St. Thomas, Nevada. From fire to water. Beneath the waves of Lake Mead is the drowned town of St. Thomas, Nevada. Founded by Mormon settlers in 1865, the town once had schools, farms, and families living quiet, simple lives. But all that changed when the U.S. government built the Hoover Dam. As the water rose behind the dam, Lake Mead swallowed the valley. And St. Thomas disappeared beneath the rising waves. Imagine packing your entire life, knowing your home would soon be underwater forever. The last resident, Hugh Lord, refused to leave until the water reached his front porch. He paddled away in a small boat, watching the place he grew up sink below the surface. St. Thomas remained hidden for decades. But in recent years, drought has lowered Lake Mead's waters. And the ghost foundations of the city have reappeared, like bones rising from the deep. An American city lost, slowly resurfacing. Bodie, California. Next we go to the wild mountains of California. To the legendary gold rush town of Bodie. In the 1870s, Bodie was booming. 10,000 people chasing dreams of gold. Saloons, mines, dance halls, churches, brothels, a city built overnight. But success was fragile. When the gold dried up, the people left just as fast as they arrived. Harsh winters and fires did the rest. By the early 1900s, Bodie was all but quiet. Houses were left intact. Meals still on the table, clothes still hanging, tools left where they fell. Today, Bodie is frozen in time under a state of arrested decay. Everything remains as the last residents left it. Like the town simply paused. A snapshot of America's wildest chapter, preserved by silence. Kennecott, Alaska. Far north, deep in the Alaskan wilderness, is Kennecott. One of America's most isolated abandoned cities. In 1900, one of the richest copper deposits ever found was discovered by prospectors. An enormous mining empire sprouted overnight. It is one of the most remote industrial cities in the world. Workers lived through harsh winters. Supplies had to be brought in by dangerous mountain trails. Families lived thousands of miles away from the closest city. But Kennecott prospered. But copper prices collapsed during the Great Depression. And the mine shut down overnight in 1938. Residents boarded the last train out of town, leaving everything behind. Beds, furniture, mining tools. All frozen in place by the Alaskan cold. Today, Kennecott looks like a giant wooden skeleton clinging to the mountainside. A frozen monument to ambition, struggle, and abandonment. Dogtown, Massachusetts. Some towns disappear due to economics. Others disappear due to fire or water. But Dogtown is different. Dogtown was wiped out by fear. This settlement, located on Cape in Massachusetts, began in the 1600s. It was isolated, rocky, and constantly shrouded in fog. The town never grew large. But it became strangely infamous. After the American Revolution, residents slowly drifted away. But the town's last chapter was grim. Local legends told of witches, curses, strange rituals. People spoke of inhuman noises heard at night. People were afraid of passing through it. By 1830, everybody had left Dogtown. The buildings collapsed. The forest swallowed everything. And only giant carved stones remain, engraved with mysterious words like courage, spirit, loyalty. Hikers today still report an unnerving silence in the old town center, as if something still remained there. Some cities are lost. Dogtown feels forgotten on purpose. Cahaba, Alabama. Not all lost cities were small frontier towns. Some were powerful, even political centers. Cahaba, Alabama used to be the first state capital. Its streets were bustling. Its buildings were grand. It was a symbol of Southern ambition. But Cahaba had one fatal flaw. It was built on a floodplain. Year after year the river rose. And year after year, the city fought back. But nature always prevails. By the late 1800s, constant flooding made the town unlivable. They abandoned their homes. The Capitol building decayed. Whole streets sank into the mud. Today, Cahaba is a ghost town taken over by vines, trees, and silence. An entire capital lost to the river. Garnet, Montana. Deep in the mountains of Montana lies Garnet, one of the best preserved abandoned towns in America, and one of the least known. Garnet boomed in the 1890s when gold was discovered. Families constructed homes. Children played in the streets. Saloons rang with music. But when the gold disappeared, so did the people. The winter storms destroyed the roads. Avalanches cut off access. Eventually, the last residents walked away, leaving doors unlocked, as if they'd return tomorrow. But they never did. Today, Garnet stands like a perfectly intact photograph. Rooms filled with furniture, dishes, newspapers. As if time simply stopped and forgot to start again. Fire, water, fear, ambition, nature, time. Each of these cities disappeared for different reasons. Yet they share something powerful. Cities don't die when people leave. They die when their stories are forgotten. But today, we brought them back. If only for a moment. And that's why the lost cities of America matter. They remind us that every street once held dreams. Every ruined building once sheltered families. Every lost place was once somebody's entire world. So as America grows, as new cities rise and old ones crumble, these lost towns stand as quiet reminders that nothing is permanent. Not even cities. Not even us.